Hello everyone, this is the old Carolina Ridge Runner. Spent a good part of my life in the bus industry and transportation. A lot of talk about a series of bus, well, and kind of getting down to one of them. One we want to kind of focus on is General Motors PD 4104. It is built between April 1953 and August of 1960. 5,065 of them were made through the years between that. Called Throughliner by Trailways and the Highway Traveler by Greyhound. Numerous other operators also operated them, and they say it became for long-distance transportation across the country the standard. The manufacturer also included large baggage area and improved heating and ventilation, pioneered air suspension, made features such as tinted windows and air conditioning commonplace, and later on restrooms equipped in them too. From 1954 to 1956, General Motors was also busy building another bus, exclusively for Greyhound, the Cena Cruiser. If you take a look at the 4104 and a Cena Cruiser, from the front they look just alike. You get first window back, hello. You see the Cena Cruiser's a little higher, split level bus there, 5 foot longer, but other than that, it looked a whole lot alike. Big difference too was the powertrain in them. The 4104 had an inline 6-cylinder, the 671, but that wasn't enough power really for the Cena Cruiser, so what they did, they put 2 4-cylinders in, the 471s, tried to keep them running even, with a split axle transmission being a 3-speed, while the 4104 had a 4-speed in it. Well, trying to keep those 4-cylinders running at even became a problem, and some transmission problems there too with the split axle shift. Talked to a driver one time. I didn't even know they had two little 4-cylinders in them. He said, if I could keep the thing running even, I'd be okay. They're pretty nice driving bus, except we can't keep them together. And they said out west, you look like beer cans laying alongside the road, so many of them would break down at that time. Later on, they did get it worked out. They put 8 V71 in them and made them into a pretty good bus. Well, the one we want to get down to is serial number 4989, among the last built. 1 of 4 delivered to Carolina Scenic Stages, August 23rd, 1960. Well, it went on the run, Trailways run from Charleston, Asheville, Knoxville, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Chicago. That's where it stayed for a few years. It started with the number CSS 476, that's Carolina Scenic Stages with the Trailways logo on it, and ran for several years there. Sometime after the merger of Continental and all, in the early 70s, it was sold off and kind of faded away for a while. It had the other numbers. When they first started changing numbers, it was 37109. When it became Continental Southeastern Lines, they moved to 35156. Well, years later, John Hobein of Blue Ridge Trailways found it in a grassy field and decided to restore it completely. I mean, he made it better than new. A good friend of mine named Bill, well, first day on the job after finished training and everything, here comes CSS 476, the first bus he drove on a regular run. They changed it then. It was in a pool from up in Old Howell coming down through Huntington, Bluefield, West Virginia, Bristol, into Asheville. He got it in Asheville and took it to Augusta. It continued on to Miami at that time. After Blue Ridge Trailways got it completely restored and refurbished all the way, it was pretty much a show bus is what it was. Well, the queen of the shop, really. Time it went to a bus bash or show was Quantico, Virginia in 1988. Matter of fact, they hadn't even quite got it finished that time. It still had the small print of Trailways on the front of it. Later on, they got it back to the big letters. It made a few movies too. And by the way, we even used it sometimes on a regular run. I think it made one trip to Atlanta from Asheville and a couple trips to Asheville to Charleston. One night I had, well, I guess the pleasure of driving it. Came in on the run I was on. I came out and looked at it there. There's the old bus. I did the EOT inspection on it. Every light on it worked, good tires come in, every switch you flip worked. So we put it in gear, got the passengers on board, and guess what? Everything worked just fine. We drove it on to Charleston. It was a sweet driving bus to be as old as it was. Somewhere the rumor got out that was the old ticket office that Greyhound used to have at Disney World. They had a 4104 there. Well, Blue Ridge did buy that. They bought it for parts to put on the bus and used it. But no, it was not painted. Matter of fact, John ended up giving that bus to one of the mechanics to become a camper. So that's where the old Greyhound bus ended up, or CSS, or the toys, we called it. Kind of stayed on runs and going to bus shows. Ended up in a movie or two. In 1994, it kind of made its last real show in a way. It appeared in the movie Shawshank Redemption at the end of it. As it kind of fades away running out there, it seems like it just faded away also, as we had the demise of a lot of bus companies that time due to the way the situation changed. Hey, hope you got a little entertainment and information out of this. Kind of a couple of minutes of enjoyment here. Take care. We'll try to see you again. More about buses, politics, or something else like that. Carolina Ridge Run saying so long till the next time as we fade away here.